Hello and welcome to another episode of The State of Search with your host Alex Meyerhans. In today's video we're going to cover everything that happens and was released at Google I/O, which just happened a few days ago, what it means for you as a business owner, as an SEO, what's the exciting stuff, what's the scary stuff, and has SEO just changed forever? It might just have. So let's get us started. If you want to follow along with the notes for this show, you can find them at the free Notion site that I have here with all my SEO resources. You can go to alexmeyerhans.com, enter your email address there, subscribe, confirm your email subscription on your email address, and then you get access to this board here, which has every single resource that I ever covered in any of my YouTube videos. SEO auditor sheets, tools, AI prompts, research, SOP, all the stuff that I used to run a multi-seven-figure agency, do SEO for hundreds of clients, and all the good stuff, as well as the show notes. So in case I mention anything and you want to get the reference, it's all here, okay? In exchange, just your email and no spam ever. Good. So let's get us started. 100 things that we announced at I/O 2024. I'll give you the rundown. It's all about Gemini, okay? And their AI and all the cool stuff that they say. Now, as Google is Google, they always say one thing and it's cool, but then the reality is just a bit different, right? So now, what does this mean for SEO? It's interesting to see one thing. Only 7 out of the 100 points are directly related to search. Everything else, the entirety of it all, of course, is AI, but the entirety of it all is about Gemini and, you know, how cool the AI is and how much it's gonna improve your life and how cool and da-da-da-da. Now, if we go here, the updates that make search do the work for you, we'll see. The 7 points, that's it. And even from their own examples that they use here, as it started a whole shit show and controversy about it, because, I mean, I don't even need to read this stuff because it's all gibberish realistically. This is the reality, okay? Freaking nobody likes it. The entirety of the Google search community is people asking, how can I please stop this thing? So much for doing the work for people. Now people have to do extra work, go and watch a video like this and go here, and you know, the link is on the sheet, and you come here and you switch off the experiments and then you pray that they won't force them in some other way. Because what's happening is, as Katie very clearly stated here. Now, Katie, this lady knows her stuff with SEO. She's been blogging for 21 years, okay? It's, in my opinion, right. And again, it's just an opinion, okay? It's likely the single biggest content theft in history. And, you know, I'm going to run you through what that all means and, you know, the reasons for so many people to say things like this. I don't really think this does the work for you. It's heavily inaccurate. And it's basically grabbing a result from somewhere else, most of it Quora and Reddit, because they beefed up both sites and all the other forums in the latest update. If you missed that, I'll put a link somewhere on one of these corners here on YouTube, so you can watch the video from the March update and what happened with the deal with Reddit, and basically how all this community and forums were beefed up, where a lot of the results are crap because it's either satire or it's inaccurate because it's produced by users, not by experts. So they pull in all this info from users and non-experts. Also, they pull in the info from the experts as well. They're rehashing the whole thing, which in a way doesn't even comply with their own rules, because they say AI overviews will begin rolling out and it's scraped content. And it modifies content using automated techniques, and it abuses the reputation of Google themselves. So now, of course, Google is telling you, if you want to live within our box, these are the rules, but we are the box. We get to do whatever the hell we want, okay? I'm the source now. So that's fundamentally what Google is doing. Now, of course, there's a few other things that, let's say we can close this thing. They say that with AI overviews, people are visiting a greater diversity of websites to get help with more complex questions. Weren't you making my life easier? Weren't you doing the work for me? So now I have to click in a greater amount of websites, which we know is untrue. The links included in AI reviews get more clicked than if the page had appeared as a traditional web listing for that query. Well, absolutely no, because people hate it. They just scan right past that thing, and then they click on anything else. And if you just want to, look at your CTR and Search Console, I'm pretty sure that whatever you run, you will see that any results that have AI overviews, not every result has it, but any query that has AI overviews, the amount of clicks that you're going to get are lower. So there is that. Okay. I'm going to go and eat some strawberry and tomato salad later. When it comes to informational queries, they are the source now. They've scraped the internet. They have all the answers. They're gonna pull and maybe add you a few sources there to hopefully not get sued too hard. Although I think this is gonna spark a lot of legal problems for them. But hey, I'm no lawyer, so I'm just basing it from history. So now, what does this really mean? If you got hit the helpful content update last September, and you got hit on the March update, and you continue losing traffic, and you are a 100% content website, you're in a tough spot because it's winter for you now, right? Now, this is not to say that your business is done. You're in a tough spot, but it's not done because we just show you people hate it, right? And it's content theft. A lot of people are not happy with it. I'm gonna get into this in a second to see why. It seems to be that there is a lot of different agendas at play here, alongside with the AI arms race. But fundamentally, people don't like this thing, right? So they are going to either stop using Google for informational queries and have to go elsewhere. Question mark, was that where going to be, right? And I'm going to cover that at the end of the video because things are shifting. There's going to happen that a fragmentation will occur, right? So now, why does it look like it's the end of an era, or at least the beginning of the end of an era, where everybody went to Google to get all their answers, and already for months people have been saying, the results that I get are crap. I need to put pre 2023 results, those kind of things, and it seems that it's only getting worse with all this, big tech pretty much forcing AI into everything and anything, because that's the way that big tech races with each other at the expense of the humans in many cases. But hey, apparently AI is a great thing. So now, if you want to read this article, which I very much suggest you do, I'm not going to give you a poor, overly summarized 2-minute snippet of it, because it's so freaking fantastic that it's worthwhile all your 40 minutes to read it. I'll let you read. It starts a sweet 5 years ago, and it's going on into the now. Now, of course, where Yahoo died, a different platform won, and then the users went from one place to the other. Now, that is a change of the status quo, and with any change of the status quo, there's opportunities for business, right? Because the reality is, as the users, the searchers, the people that need information to fulfill their little day-to-day things to live their lives, we ain't going anywhere. What am I going to do? I'm going to go back to my encyclopedia? No, I'm still going to go and look for experts, look for websites that have answers to my problems. And if I can't find them on what used to be the best index of the web out there, Google, I'll go search in a different index. Okay? And this is one of the sweetest pieces of the equation for you if you do SEO. The vast majority of these algorithms, they are older and more rudimentary, so they depend more on the document and on links. So SEO is going to be increasingly more content and links, like it's always been, right? So if the traffic goes more from Google into Bing or DuckDuckGo or any of these alternative search engines, and turns out that in their algorithms you can rank with just backlinks, in which other way is any search engine going to establish the relevance between documents? If it's not backlinks, that was the foundation of what made Google, then that's good news for anyone doing backlinks. Just saying. Now, I'll let you read this piece. Is on the documents. Let's continue. So, there's a couple of problems with these changes, right? And one is the accuracy of the information that you get, which we just covered above. And this is why I think there's going to be a shift in the place where as people go and look for information. Now, there's a difference between information and services or products or whatnot. It seems that Google, there's another beautiful infographic that HouseFresh put together on the article that I'll open in a second. It seems that Google is moving its search engine more and more to be a commercial engine. So if you run a local business or an e-commerce, you're good. Like, you're actually good. All these things are good for you. If you run a content site, it means there's a major status quo change, okay? But one of the problems, right, for us, even within the commercially intended keywords, for us users and shoppers, in order to find veritable trusted information that we can use and make good choices, is that there's a bias right now in the information that Google is offering. This is right now in who is ranking, right? So HouseFresh has done this calculation of the average price of a device recommended in articles from big media sites, right? So they go for the best budget air purifier, and budget always means what it means, right? And as they highlight different sites, the average price point for most of these budget purifiers is not something most American working class households would consider budget. But HouseFresh recommendation, the average is under $90, which for an air purifier, so you don't get sick, so maybe your kid that has asthma doesn't have to suffer the way I can suffer when I was a kid. All these different things. $88, that sounds more like it actually answers the query of budget air purifiers. And you would say, hey, how comes? That's wired. Are they not able to really do their testing and find the best purifiers? Well, this is one problem that has always existed within the affiliate marketing community. And I am looking at you, old school bloggers that have recommended Bluehost for so many years. Okay? You can do better. Higher ticket products get you higher commissions. There's a little bit of a misalignment of agendas in between offering what's really the very best answer for the reader and the product that would make the most amount of commissions. So if you have faculty integrity and you say this is a great product and you are wealthy and for you $400 for a purifier don't mean shit, then you will consider that budget. But the reality, when somebody's looking for a budget air purifier, they know they can spend $400. They know, and they know that they probably can get a superior air purifier for $400. But that's not what they're looking to spend, right? But all these different magazines, like, yeah, I'm going to recommend you this because ultimately we'll make higher commissions. And, affiliates A/B test this through what products it recommends, the CTA on the tables, everything is, figure outable within the realm of websites to see how do you ultimately make more money. You do as much CRO as required, so then the page is more valuable, you make more money. When you run an affiliate site, that's kind of what you want. The problem is when you do that at the heavy expense of the user. And now, normally, if you look at the Google documentation for whether a page meets the needs of the query and whether the intent is satisfied, you would understand, or you would believe, that Google says, hey, well, all these sites don't really meet the intent, because it's like all of this, if you see the titles, right, is the best air purifiers, right? And here we have the best budget air purifiers we tested. So the actual page is about budget purifiers, while all these other ones are just about the big broad keyword of the best purifier, right? So Google has decided that it needs no disambiguation between the general query best air purifiers, which I just want the very best. If that's what I'm looking for, by the way, if I say best of whatever, I want to see the very best, and I don't care what it costs. right? And then within the very best, if you tell me like this is the most premium, by the way, if you're looking for the best within the budget category, then this will be the best. But you add one, right? That's how it's always worked within affiliate tables, right? Or affiliate comparison pages, right? And then you have a few mid-ranges and then, you know, the absolute very best. Or if you really want to answer the query, you go for the very, very, very best, and you don't care if they all cost $3,000 because, hey, you asked me for the best. Like if they happen to cost $1,000, that's what they cost, right? Now, price point doesn't always equate that you're gonna get the absolute very best, but imagine it was cars, you know, and you look for the fastest supercar, like, yeah, you're gonna get like very expensive cars, all of them. There's no budget options. Now, if I'm looking for like best car under 1,000 or best budget compact car or best budget air purifier, I'm being specific. Like I need a cheap option that's the best one within the cheapness, okay? And because of the current state of the algorithm that so heavily favors high, strong authority sites, high ADR sites, because of backlinks, don't know how many times I have to say it. I know I'm biased because I run a link building agency, but I run a link building agency because it's what works. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you get. You get very expensive options that, you know, don't necessarily mean that are going to be the best solution for you as a user. Now, if you're a publisher, then you already know what to do, right? Now, this is having real problems. Now, this is producing real problems for the experts that have been producing top-level content within their niches for decades, sometimes. And I've just mentioned a few here that I came across on LinkedIn. I have a note as well on link relevance, but, you know, Katy Perry, who, you know, did the other tweet about the biggest content theft in history, has this other tweet. They're all linked on the sheet. It says she's ending a 21-year blogging career. Okay. And here's the main thing. It's just info. And that's what people who don't actually create anything keep saying. It's just info. It was the knowledge acquired through personal experience. And it's true. Like everything that I'm saying on this video is just info. But the context to make sense out of it and all the SEO work that I've done over the last 8 years is what allows me to say this info without speaking straight out of my ass and say something that is heavily inaccurate that will make you a disservice. So it's just info, and yes, I'm putting it out there for free in the internet because that's how it works. But it's not just info, right? It's the expertise. And so to devalue that and say, yep, we're going to scrap the whole thing, plaster it for free because remember, we are the source now. It's having real consequences for people like Katie, for people like Jake, that fit friends, right? Who is a guy that really knows his stuff when it comes to fitness. And then here he was saying if this little, there you go. You know, I asked Google what the best weightlifting shoes are. And this is the AI overview. It says none of this is a weightlifting shoe. They all like, you know, trainers. So it's having problems. It's having problems for people and for users because now, you know, this guy loses traffic on his page about the best weightlifting shoes, and then this is what you get instead. He's losing. You are losing. Who's winning? I have a section about the who is winning part. If you are familiar with non-zero-sum games and the like, thou shalt see. Now, I want to cover here a little bit also of what's happened, right? Because there is another really good summary from Housefresh on what's been happening, right? How many of these sites have won. I'll let you read it out your own time. It's linked on the call notes. I just wanted to open another very cool sheet here that they have. So this is the anatomy of search results at the moment, and this is what I wanted to cover. And this is what I say it's summer for e-commerce. So this should give us also some interesting insights on ways for you to adjust. And I am living and breathing at the moment one of the ways to adjust, which is doing YouTube. Okay, so back in the day, you could write about everything and rank with all written contents. We have just seen what happens with that. Google loves itself. YouTube is part of Alphabet. So if you have a content site and you want to recover some of the traffic and funnel it back to your offers, your info course, your whatever your affiliate offers, by all accounts, start creating YouTube videos for all your content. We're about to release a video creation service based on blog posts through a partner that we found is amazing at doing this thing, and some of the early results are amazing. So if you're interested, get in touch. Other than that, what you see here is big media sites. But big media sites, remember, is sites with a load of backlinks. So, okay, we start again getting into synchronicity with what's actually happening. Search refinement feature, whatever, a truckload of shopping. So, congratulations, if you run an e-com, you will rank for terms that you don't deserve to rank, like this affiliate old school term, right? With the shopping there, then a truckload of search results. Then if you run a very small independent publication and you cannot transform yourself into a big media site because you're afraid of buying links and doing link building, then, well, you know, then some shop, okay, there, but all this, like, Google Shopping is from shops, and then some other big media site. So now, quick note, okay, on links, very important. So in this image here, you see the Ahrefs chart for HouseFresh. This is the blue spike here is when they published the piece about David and Goliath, which I covered in my previous videos, somewhere there on one of the boxes. And that's right after is the March 5th update, and when they completely got decimated and obliterated. If you go to the homepage, the article is on their homepage. Now, if you see that immense spike in referring domains, they've gone from not too many to 2,800 referring domains and a much higher DR, and yet they have not recovered. So, a couple of things: link relevance, ranking states, and being on the wrong side. So, HouseFresh is on the wrong side of the equation right now, in the sense of like what they do as a publication is not what Google is favoring as a website in the search engine in general at the moment, as we just covered. Okay. Then it's in a negative ranking state because it probably got hit by one of the very many classifiers that run through the helpful content update. And so far, no major recoveries from the HU have been seen, although, you know, there is cases where things are getting better. Okay, and now there's also sites, relatively, you know, content sites like Garage Gym Reviews that are doing great, so they enter in a positive ranking state. And then the other one is on link relevance. The vast majority of the links that they acquired are for media, magazines, news outlet, all these different things. And the links have nothing to do with their niche. They have nothing to do with purifiers. So the semantic relationship between what the website does and the links that they are acquiring is growing farther apart, right? So it's good to get PR links. They're great. They add a lot of EAT, or trust, all these different things. You have to continue getting niche relevant backlinks. There's such a thing as a balance there that's important. Okay, so I am even willing to bet that if HouseFresh, if they got that domain and they reused it, of course this is all conceptual, I'm not saying that they need to do this or they should do this, theoretically, if they were to repurpose the domain name into a media news type of outlet where they cover the state of affairs, like, you know, Glenn also does in detailed, they might actually start ranking for a lot of things, because the vast majority of the backlink profile now is comprised of sites that have to do with that, and they have the DR. So that's just a way of looking at it. Now, the other one that I wanted to mention here that is in a positive ranking state, and this is the actual state of search, right, is that Reddit is on the right side, as you can see here. Now, if you missed why, I've covered it there, you know, but this is kaput, this is kaput. I covered it there. I'm not gonna load it again because I lost the tab. But if you missed it, 2 months ago, Google signed a deal with Reddit where for $60 million a year, Google will acquire all the user engagement data from Reddit to feed Gemini. And that has resulted in an immense growth, continuous sustained growth for Reddit. Okay, so what can you do? I covered it on this video. Basically, go here, enter your niche, and go and get every single keyword that Reddit ranks for. because if you are a local business or an e-commerce business, or you happen to be in a positive ranking state, you can rank for everything at the moment. And Reddit is right now one of the bestest libraries within one single site of keywords for you to find everything. When I say that local businesses face no threat, we just have a case study here of a local business that we launched from 0 to absolutely killing it, and they've continued to kill it. They've done some major business transitions after this, thanks to a lot of the traffic acquired for their very many physical locations across the US, and it's all just good websites and good backlinks. So local SEO continues to kill it, and e-commerce season. Okay, so if you remember from my previous video where I audited Raffaele De Lalo's websites, a content site, he is a botanist, an absolute expert on the niche. I'll put the link somewhere there as well. He knows his stuff when it comes to houseplants, which is a niche that I'm very much into. I've been following his content for years, right, since we very first started working, long time ago, and he genuinely knows his stuff. You can go check him in on YouTube, right? His site got wiped, and the vast majority of the traffic has gone to people like Proven Winners Direct, which is back then a very small, right? If you look at the chart here, let me load them, right? So if you see these guys, they rank for a lot of terms that are just the name of a plant or a genus of plants, right? And that used to be the kind of content that expert botanist websites that aren't e-commerce, but the content websites used to rank for, with full-blown wikis of the plant. Right now, all that's ranking for those kind of terms without ambiguity is e-commerce. So Google is like, for the info, we'll give you in the AI overviews, we'll pull it from all these different people that we just happen to get the tokens. Some users say content theft. I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, Google got tokens for their AI. And now they are ranking for absolutely everything. You want to see when this started? Right? Look, when they enter the positive ranking state. Boom, kaboom. Here. So from here, they rank for absolutely everything, and they will continue to do so. And whoever runs the SEO for Proven Winners Direct, they'll be like, oh my god, I'm the best SEO ever. It's just easier, bro. But yeah, you probably did something right. Now, if you look at them, it's only like category pages for the product. It's not even with the blog, right? So it's just collection pages, which, by the way, I've been saying this for forever. Your category pages within your e-commerce store are the single most powerful stuff that you need to put the focus on, because it will rank for everything as you have, sufficient products that you can have there. But a page with basically 8 products, okay, for these butterfly bushes ranks number 3 for this insanely high volume keyword. Pretty sure they will be getting some sales, but it's so broad as well that realistically most people looking for this, they're either looking for like, what is it, care guide, data, let me know. It used to be an ambiguous keyword, and right now all you get is e-commerce. So now it's not like these guys have done an insane amount of link building to any of these pages either. It's just it's the season. So now what does this uncover? Let's get back to the point, okay? I'll put a link here to this simple explanation of what non-zero games are. But basically, a non-zero sum game is a game where both users can win more than 0 or can lose more than 0, whether they collaborate or not. Okay, there is an optimal solution in a zero-sum game. Somebody wins, somebody loses, done. Now, the part where this can get a little bit convoluted and people can get a bit lost is thinking that the game within Google, within search, is a zero-sum game. In order for me to rank number 1, somebody else has to lose. And Google has just shown you their hands with something like this, and what we just covered earlier, where fundamentally, they are giving all the traffic to somebody, but the somebody that they're giving the most traffic to is themselves. So you are playing a zero-sum game like in the roulette with Google. It's you, the gamblers, the players, and the Google. And the Google owns the casino and the roulette and the game, so they will win. Okay, because they get to define what the layout of the board is. Okay, now they just did a big change of the layout of the board. So all the players within that, they play a non-zero-sum game where content websites that have gotten wiped, that are expertly run, could enter in a game of win-win with e-commerce sites that have not so good websites with maybe 8 products in a category page, where they're getting a lot of traffic and they will get some extra sales, but because the query is not very well refined, I doubt that the intent will be very high. And now they don't know how to deal with all of that, and they might not even have the right pages. So content creators that used to have the content that used to rank could partner up with e-commerce stores to become a pro contributor, maybe sell the rights to some of their content in their blog to some of these e-commerce stores, or enter in some sort of collaboration where you sell part of your blog to an e-commerce store and you acquire part of equity in them. You will have to get creative there, but some of these opportunities will open themselves up now. And if you run an e-commerce store, you'll be crazy not to contact some actual experts in your niche that are right now a little bit screwed, and figure out how both of you can win by making your boring, uninspiring category pages way better, because they can go and write and do it, and you can share a part of the sales of whatever, or pay them as experts to also, because you still need the EEAT. So some stores will do great and they think that that's going to be it, and it's going to be like that forever. And eventually, because of the lack of EAT, because there's more stores entering and you still compete with other stores, you will lose ground and say, why did we lose ground? And then you go and you compare your site with whatever store is ranking at the top, and you will realize, oh, that store is better. They did partner up with somebody that has 3 published books on the niche of whatever begonias, moth orchids, and they wrote all the content, and they wrote descriptions for the products, and they wrote care guides, and they wrote a whole blog section, and now that site ranks for absolutely everything in my niche, and I don't rank anymore at the top 1, even though I was doing great. Yeah, you were doing great when basically a whole section of the board got wiped, where all the content experts got rankings earlier. A whole bunch of e-commerce stores were placed there, and I was like, oh, we all win, until you start fighting again, and then the petri dish gets changed again. So don't sleep while it's summer. Capitalize on it. Start working aggressively on your content. Start working aggressively on your backlinks. Make sure that you have your email capture things in place to start growing your list. Make sure that you have valuable content to offer to those people that are very obviously interested in that niche, right? The one that I just giving you the example there, right? If I come here, and I love houseplants, I have a ton, right? So if I'm looking for hydrangea, right, and I go and I land on this product page, right, this is cool, has some data, okay, full sun, part sun, okay, description, okay, where it grows a little bit, right, specs, okay, fine. I'd love for this to be linked for a full-blown care guide. I'd love for this to link to an article that tells me, all the other plants that this goes well with, how to, lay this out, landscaping ideas for this, jungle, balcony ideas, whatever, with this, which is the kind of content that, because it's summer for you, you will rank for. Somebody else used to rank for, and you will rank for it. And you could use AI to produce all of that, but it's likely going to be garbage, and you will be collaborating on, this really major content. So, you can partner up with experts, and you can all win. So I'll leave you with that as a thought. Now, there is something else which we need to understand here, whether you've been impacted positively or negatively. We're still playing on an infinite game. If you're unfamiliar with it, this is a really good book by James Course. And fundamentally, an infinite game, the whole point of the game is to continue playing it. So if you're in business, the whole point of business is to continue being in business, right? And if you are an SEO, the whole point of SEO is to continue optimizing for the searcher. Now, I know SEO stands for search engine optimization, but realistically, modern SEO is more about optimizing for the searcher. So where are the searches? Where are people looking for the info? And then you optimize for those people to find you. Now, if some of them are moving and they're going, you know, they used to be on Google here with this, you know, sweet 90%, and now they're going somewhere else, and Google is losing market share. This is for the United States. And then Bing is making a comeback, you know, and it's going from, you know, 6.3 to 8.2 market share. And I believe with what's rolling right now, that chart is going to continue increasing in this direction, probably an accelerated pace. Then don't sleep on this, and just go and make sure that all your clients are registered here on, you know, Bing Webmaster Tools. Bing ads are cheaper than Google ads at the moment. There's so many things that you can do to continue helping your clients and the brands that you work with to do better. And as a business, then you just need to know where people are going. Like a lot of the searches, depending on the generation, are gonna go into TikTok up until, you know, if TikTok gets banned in the US. But a lot of users are now directly searching on TikTok. They're using it as a search engine. So a lot of the queries that you used to rank for, if you know that that could be answered in a 20-second video, that's probably the new format that your content should have, not so much written format, although you can have it for then the expanded version. So you can have the abridged 20-second version. People can go and search and then click on it and then go to your site, right? So instead of clicking on the link text on Google search, they will click on a 20-second video in any of the video platforms and then go to your site. The end result is the same. There's a little bridge in between, but that's the state of affairs. So I'll leave you with these notes, and a question for you is, where are you as a user, as a searcher, going to go now to get your information? Very curious to know. This was Alex Meyerhans with the State of Search, episode número 2. Hope you like it. If you found it insightful, leave some comments. Thank you very much, and God bless.